Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to today's episode. I am, of course, Ryan Kochevar here, WeVideo's Director of Customer Success Enablement, and you are watching WeVideo's EdTech Spotlight, a show where we discuss all things and everything EdTech and how video fits into the use of education technology in the classroom to support teaching and learning around the globe. And today with me, a returning guest. I think might be your third appearance on our web series. You came on. You gave me the little head nod. Has it really been three? Mr. Craig Dunlap, how are you doing today? Yeah, how are you, Craig?
I'm good.
Welcome in.
School day's over, so I'm good. I'm happy.
School day's over. How has your school year been?
It's busy. It's crazy because I'm doing all sorts of new stuff. So I know we're not here to talk about VR and all of that other stuff, but I'm doing a lot of like crazy stuff this year. So yeah.
That could be another episode all in itself, because I would love to explore what you do. I know what you do because you've shared with me some of the really cool projects that you do outside of the universe of video, and what kinds of projects you do utilizing WeVideo and other video tools. But I think it'd be really cool to dig in with you about all of your other projects too. I think that would make a great episode as well.
In 2 days, I'm going to turn my classroom into a paint studio, and we are going to use robots to paint this massive 7x7 picture. So it's gonna.
I love that.
We do insane, crazy stuff here. So yeah,
I love that. So yes, it is your third time on the show. The first time when we met back at ISTE in 2022, I had the pleasure to meet Craig over dinner. He was one of our more recent ambassadors, and we got to connect first, virtually, and then in person at ISTE. And we cooked up a show to highlight some of our power users and our famous WeVideo ambassadors, and our lone WeVideo ambassador from the state of Kentucky. And so Craig most graciously came on to the show in the fall of 2022, and then again in the spring of 23. And so here we are again, almost springtime, 2024. It's been a little while since we've had you on, and I'm excited to talk to you again. We're gonna be talking today about a blog that Craig has written for WeVideo, all about how he got started with his video club. So I'm excited to hear how that evolved. But what I really do want to do as well is start by digging into how you started and what your background is, so our viewers and our listeners can get an understanding of kind of where you came from and what your journey is. But before we dive into too deeply there, I just wanted to give folks who are viewing us live, if you have comments or questions about any of the content you see today, please use the comment feature if you're joining us on StreamYard, or please just comment directly on YouTube. I will see the comments come in from both places. I'm coming to you live from not my office today, so I have a little bit of weirdness going on in the background. I hope that doesn't distract anybody from the amazing conversation that we're about to undertake with Craig. But I did want to just plug really quickly that we've had the wonderful opportunity of partnering with Google for Education at WeVideo for a number of years, and I've been honored to attend the Google Partner Forum today. So I am streaming this live for you from Google HQ. And just if you're not aware out there of the WeVideo partnership with Google, we are education workspace for Education Plus partners, in that we are a third-party app that's available to any districts using the Google Workspace for Education Plus package as a third-party add-on directly in Google Classroom. So you can get to our WeVideo editor from directly within Google Classroom. Your students can create and make video projects from the WeVideo application directly assigned to them from Google Classroom. And when they finish the project, it'll pass right back to you, the teacher, in your Google Classroom environment. So thought, hey, you know what? Take advantage of where I am. Give a little plug to our third-party add-on, and before we dive in today. So as I said, we're going to have about a 30-minute conversation with Craig. He's going to show some examples to you today about some of the work that he's been able to do with his video club. And we're going to talk all about the blog that he wrote and dive in a little bit more to that piece.
I'm a little jealous that you're at Google. I mean, like that's like one of those places, like any tech nerd, ed tech nerd, like that's where we want to go. And I'm kind of jealous. So
I was not expecting the invite. It kind of was a quick turnaround for me, but I am local to Google, here in the Bay Area. That's where I live. So we took advantage of my locale, and I have the pleasure, and that's why I said it's an honor to be here to listen and learn from all of these great educators, because there are Google partners here from all around the world and educators from the Bay Area and from California generally that are here to share the impact that Google's had on their school districts and the partners that have impacted them as well. So happy to be a representative of WeVideo. And I know it's tech nerd heaven, Craig. So wish you could be here. Hopefully sometime you can get out and make the pilgrimage to Google, so to speak, to see the campus, because it is rather impressive, I will say.
Cool.
All right, so let's dig in. And those of you viewing again, please leave your comments. Please interact with the chat. That's always a better session when we know that you're out there and that you're listening in and diving in with us. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on StreamYard, let us know what you think and any questions you might have for Craig. So,
Yep.
Okay. Let's start off with the basics here. And because I want folks to know who are going to be watching this with us live or on demand, like where'd you get your start in education? How'd you kind of take the journey from where you started to where you are now? And then we'll dive specifically into how you started Video Club. So go ahead and give our audience a sense of who you are.
So you want my whole resume. So I'm a year 30 teacher. So don't let anyone tell you that like old people can't do this stuff, because I'm old and I do it all the time. So it's no joke. So I actually wrote my master's thesis back in 2002 about technology integration. And that was back in the day where administrators would come in, flop a desktop computer on your desk and say, figure it out. And they walk out the door. And it's like, all right. So at the time I was wrapping up my master's, and they said, if you're going to be married to this thesis, so make sure it's something you want to study. I said, I got to figure this thing out. So that really launched my technology journey. So I was teaching at a private school in Northern Kentucky, and I was just like, hey, you've got an old computer you want to get rid of? I will take it. I'll put it in my room. So I had like a mini computer lab in my classroom. I was teaching 6th grade. And that just kind of like every job change I've had since then kind of stepped off of that. The next job, they said, hey, you have your master's in educational technology. I don't. But they said, we're rolling out iPads. Can you help us? I said, I've never touched an iPad before, but why not? I'll help you. And that kind of led me to the next job. And then when I came here, where I am now, they said, hey, you wrote your master's in education. No, I didn't. Anyhow, and they said, we're rolling out Chromebooks. Can you help us? Like, I've never touched a Chromebook, but sure, why not? Let's do it. So that leads us to 2016. And I'm at a public elementary school in Northern Kentucky. If you Google the Florence Yealey Tower, I'm sitting within a mile of the Florence Yealey Tower. It's really nothing exciting. But anyhow, so I come here and they are rolling out Chromebooks for the first time, 1-to-1, grades 3 through 5. Our school found some extra money. They rolled it out 1-to-1, 2 through 5, and nobody knew what to do. And I was hired a guy to figure out what to do. It's like, all right, whatever. Some of the teachers, a lot of the teachers just kind of ignored me. There's that guy who sits in that room and nobody knows what to do with them. Some of the teachers said, let's just see what he can do. And they said, hey, we do this project. Are there any ideas? And I had a little bit of video background from my previous school. Nothing really. I was just a breathing adult in the room while the kids were doing projects. I actually was visiting a middle school, and I saw the students working on WeVideo, and I said, that looks like something we can do. I love the fact it's on a Chromebook. It's cloud-based. Mm-hmm. Let's dig in and see what we can do with it. And that really just kind of led my journey with video. So we started just kind of taking projects that teachers were already doing and plugging it into WeVideo. I'll never forget the first time I was helping a teacher. They were working with Narnia. and we are blogging our way through Narnia. And I just got crazy. I know, it's crazy, right? And
Great. I love that.
it was insane. It was a lot of fun. Pick the character, and now you're writing blog entries for this character. And then I got this insane idea, like, let's vlog one. And like, we've got this video program, let's vlog it. And at the time, I didn't even understand what green screen was. I'm trying to like do it against a white background, and it didn't work. And didn't have any, I didn't have any of the equipment I have now. And it was a hot mess, but it was so much fun. And one of the things I don't mind doing is learning on the fly and looking like a fool in front of the kids. Whatever. And so that's kind of it. That kind of is what got me into video to begin with. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot more to talk about, but I love WeVideo from day one. And as soon as opportunity came to be an ambassador, I was like, I'm running to this. And yeah.
And you've shown so many different examples of how you've utilized or how you've inspired your school or other people to utilize the product. And it was just, and you wrote in the blog too that it was sort of just happenstance that you accidentally sort of discovered it.
Yeah.
And like you just told us, you were at the middle school and saw it being used, and then you brought it to the elementary school you were working on it. And I will say, when you tell me about your story about, hey, we need somebody to help roll out the Chromebooks, or we need somebody to troubleshoot the iPads, or whatever it was. Yeah. That's not an uncommon story in education technology, especially from back in that day. Like that was just like the person that showed interest in computers became the technology specialist, right? For lack of resources or whatever it was, not a misunderstanding of how it wants to be used in school. So that's funny you mentioned that, because I've heard that from other folks I've interviewed before.
Well, and I think though that really kind of helps me in my current role is that now it's been a hot minute since I was a classroom teacher, and I never want to do that again. I'm done with that world, but I do understand what it's like to teach all the subjects. I understand what it's like and that sort of thing. And I understand the tech side of things pretty well. So I think that helps me kind of put all the pieces together and make a project that can work. So
absolutely. Yeah. Various skills you've learned along the way that you've taken and kind of, helped you facilitate what you do today.
So it's so funny. My wife actually works down the hall. I'm one of the rare people that like works in the same building as my wife, and it's great. It's a wonderful thing. Don't get me wrong. But we get talking. She's all nerdy about ELA stuff, and I'm all nerdy about technology stuff. And we get talking. I don't understand what she's talking about. She doesn't understand what I'm talking about. And we work in the same building. But it's just kind of neat how we all make it work. So I don't even know why.
There's a marriage there between ELA and technology that we should explore sometime as well, because I know that you have come on and shown us your book commercials project, which highlights, and at least in my opinion, a really wonderful use case where technology can be used to support English language development, and video specifically supporting a student's acquisition of language, or how you might share your ideas or thinking about a particular book. So when you say they're two different things, they're really not.
Yeah. Anyhow, we're actually working on the book commercials right now, and I wish you were in my room, because today we were uploading pictures from iPad to Chromebooks, and so I'm hoping the kids will put their finishing touches by the weekend. I don't know. They're second graders, so we don't move fast.
It takes time.
I know. Yeah.
The cool thing is that you can do it with second graders, and that's something I want to tap into as we get into your discussion about how you created and started this video club, and why you chose to do it, and focus on sort of the age range of students that you were working with in that club. So let's start with the beginnings. When you were sharing in the blog about how you kind of started this in the early years.
Sure.
Just take us through some of what you shared with our readers and how you got started in the world of Video Club at Yealey.
All right. So first of all, I do work with second grade. Well, I work with all grade levels in some way, shape, or form of technology. But I work with second grade. We do 2 big video projects in second grade. We do book commercials, which you talked about, Ryan. And we also do a informational video about Australia. And by the way, plug for ISTE. If you're going to be at ISTE, I'm co-presenting with a friend of mine from Australia. We've never met in person before. I'm so like geeked out about that. That's going to be awesome. But that doesn't matter. Anyhow, so what we do is I kind of get an idea. Just the kids who can do anything with video, and by the time they're in second grade, right? So by the time they're in third grade, I'm like, okay, let's do something. And little kids can do stuff, right? Now it's not going to be Hollywood production. It's not going to be something that we're not winning Emmy awards here, but they can do stuff. And so I do kind of get an idea for that. So when we started with Leader in Me Leader in Me program here at Yealey, and I don't remember what year it was. Did we say 2018? I was like, okay, so there's a huge
2018. Yeah,
that's what I said on the blog, so that's what we're sticking with, right?
Correct.
So there's a massive push of information that needs to be sent home to parents, and I'm also a social media director for the school. I can't do it all. In fact, I shouldn't do it all. The whole point of the Leader in Me program is empowering the kids to tell a story, to do things. So that's kind of where I got the idea of, I know kids can do stuff. I know that there are kids with this tech savviness. Let's open up this avenue. Along the way, I've kind of realized that that video is a great communication tool. People won't read what they will watch a lot of times, and so we just that's how things got started, was us creating videos that really tell the story about the school. Another thing about the school that I don't even know if you know this, Ryan, is that we're huge. Our school district is massive. We are the third largest district in the state of Kentucky. Now, again, state of Kentucky is not California. We get that, but we're a big school district with a wide diversity of incomes and all that. And our school kind of sits right in the middle of the haves and the have-nots, and a lot. I hope no one from the district is watching this. A lot of times, our story doesn't get told unless we tell it, right? Some of the haves get the stories told a whole lot quicker than us. And so I thought, we got to take the bull by the horns. We got to tell the story. And what better people to do it than the kids? And so that's kind of how we got our start.
Yeah, that's really, thank you for sharing that, because that's something I didn't know about your school, or why maybe you chose to start this project. But that's a really important thing to kind of keep in mind as we go through this, and the power of video to bring a student's voice beyond maybe the walls of the classroom, or to elevate their ideas or their creativity or themselves, right? A method of self-expression for maybe kids that have never had that avenue before, or that platform to be able to share about who they are and to share their stories. And like you illuminated, like sometimes our school wasn't able to do that, or our kids weren't able to do that. And this maybe provided a means for that to happen, which is really cool.
I think so.
Okay, so do you have the early years? Like, take us through process. Messiness. You referred to some of this as like a hot mess, and I like to massage that term and call it controlled chaos. And so take us through a little bit of the early days and your learning curve and your process, and how you got kids starting to create videos in Video Club.
All right, so I can't tell the story of Video Club without telling about my friend Scott. And Scott is a parent volunteer who I had no idea even existed until I was getting all this stuff going. And I found out that there's dad who just makes videos for fun, literally has a studio in his basement, makes videos for fun. And he is great. Like he used to host kids in the neighborhood to teach them about Scratch coding and things like that. And so like, hey, Scott, you want to help me out? And he has literally been helping me out ever since. Like, his kids aren't even in our school anymore, and he's been helping me out ever since in different ways. So Scott and I kind of worked together a lot in those early days, and I think he really kind of pushed me towards, it doesn't all have to be school related. It can be fun. They can have fun. It's okay. They have fun. So I started realizing that the kids didn't want to make videos about the habits, the Leader in Me habits, the habits of the 7 effective learn, whatever. They don't care about that. They don't really want to make videos about the teachers, interviewing the teachers. We did a lot of that. And there are examples out there on our Yealey YouTube channel that, you can see the interviews with the teachers and stuff like that. They exist. And I think the kids did a pretty good job. But every once in a while, they'd sneak in a fun one. And that's one they all wanted to watch over and over. And they want to do a fun one. And And there's a video out there where there was a local nonprofit that was doing a contest. And I think I told this story in the blog. They're doing this contest, and it was for high school students. I said, we'll be there. They said, it's for high school. I heard you. We'll be there. And they're like, but you're in elementary school. I know all this, but we'll be there because our kids make great videos. And they're like, well, okay. And so they created a couple categories for elementary kids, and we weren't the only elementary school there, and there were middle schools there, but we pretty much rocked, right? And our kids won like the best PSA of elementary, and it was hilarious. I mean, it was funny. It was about the dangers of screen time, and I don't know if we even have that on tap, Ryan. I don't know if we do, and it's a kind of long one, but that's why I started to realize, like, oh, we can make fun videos that are meaningful and, and they're good. So I slowly started to morph away from that. And the pandemic helped a lot with that too. Oh, that was a cliffhanger. Should I just keep talking? Or do you want to ask
No, I was gonna say I'm as you were talking about that screen time video, that's one of my favorite videos that you shared with me. I mean, look, I have a lot of favorites that we've included in our as sample video projects in our assignment ideas library, and that is one of them for PSAs because it was such a great example. It was so fun and funny and original and creative, and it looked like those two kids had just a blast making them and probably learned something about screen time along the way, because I'm sure that they had to put research into it, and they had to write scripts, and they had to do all of this work that didn't involve video editing to produce and publish that video.
Can I just tell you a cool story about that? So that was 2019-ish. So one of the two boys are now freshmen in high school. And I will periodically get emails from one of those boys sending me, all he does is make videos. He plays in the band and he makes videos. That's his life. And he has sent me an email. I think the latest email I got from him was, you have no idea the impact you've had in my life.
That's incredible. I love hearing things like that.
And what do? I show up early twice a week and I help kids make videos. It's not like, I don't know, that really meant a lot to me. But this is a kid that could very well go into a career that involves video production, or who knows what. But we're teaching these kids skills that are way outside. Oh my goodness!
I found it. This is live video production in action. And I was searching for it as you were kind of talking there.
Okay.
But let's watch it.
Go for it.
Dangerous too. If you spend too much time on a screen, it can cause all kinds of problems. Now we are going to show you some of them. Screen time can keep you from getting a healthy breakfast. Screen time can make you forget how to bake properly.
I mean, who hasn't done that?
Screen time can stop you from paying attention. Screen time can make you unaware of dangerous surroundings.
Oh no.
Screen time can make you unaware of where you are going.
I'll pause it there. But
that's cool. They were fourth grade. I mean, there's fourth graders making those videos. That's not okay. It's not Hollywood, but it's a pretty impressive stuff.
And I want to say too, I want to highlight too, this is not sort of in their normal school time hours that they're making this content. And so to me, when you first shared about the concept of video club and getting kids excited about creating videos and editing videos and using that to express creativity and make these fun projects, or even how it started, interviewing teachers, doing school climate, school culture videos, it's motivating. You see the effort that went into this, and how much that they felt personally, invested in creating this content.
So yeah, so now these kids are coming to school early, a couple times a week, right? 2-3 times a week, 7:45 to 8:30. Coming, I mean, to do that sort of stuff. This
Right.
is something they want to do. So it's pretty impressive. Or their parents want them out the door early. I'm not sure which. No, I'm just teasing. Well, no.
Maybe a combination. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little combination of both.
But yeah, so like, yeah, they're making videos like that. That's so cool. I love it. I just absolutely, I nerd out. This is maybe one of my favorite topics, and I talk about a lot of topics. So,
Yeah.
So then that led us into the pandemic, and the pandemic was just weird for everybody. And when we all got sent home in March, I mean, I tried to keep Video Club going, but it was done. It was, it was
Yeah.
done. So when we went into the next school year, which I lovingly called the dumpster fire year. I don't know what the general term in education is, but dumpster fire year is what I call it. I emailed all the parents of returning kids and the returning video clubbers, and I said, would you be interested in a virtual video club? And they said yes, like overwhelmingly yes. I think there might have been 1 or 2 kids that said, nah, I don't want to. And I don't blame them, because who wants to be on Zoom all the time, right? Or there was
Yeah, for sure.
And
it was hard for everybody. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. But that's what we did. Once a week. I think it was twice a week. And then as things we started coming in person again. We did it once a week. It was weird, but the whole year. But and it was on Google Meet, and you make a video, and you take over the screen and you show the video, and then we all sit back and say that's something I like and something that needs work. And then eventually we hone it to the point where it was all good. And a bunch of us got on. Scott got on. I got on. There was one time it was my daughter's birthday, and I'm driving to work, and I decided to stick around a little bit longer to celebrate birthday with her. So I'm driving along, my Chromebook hotspotted, and the kid's like, "Why am I seeing your car, Mr. Dunlap?" I'm like, "Because I'm driving to school. Now talk." Yeah, but I mean that was really cool. But that's where we started to see that, like, let's just have fun. Let's have fun. Let's teach these kids some skills, and let's have some fun. And that may have been, believe it or not, some of our best content, because the kids were at home. They weren't tied to the constraints of school, and they could film their family members. They could film in their houses. They could film outside. And so we had some good stuff there.
And a lot of the videos that when we first started talking, a lot of those videos came from that remote instruction period where you could tell that the students were making this content at home, but that they were, again, still engaged and motivated with the learning process and the creative process. And that kind of experience, from my perspective, seemed to be something that was really valuable to have, because it wasn't the same old get on Zoom or get on Google Meet and just go through the motions of school in a remote way. It was asking them to produce artifacts of their joy or their learning. And it was really cool to see what was produced out of that. So
I had a young, I'm sorry, I stepped on you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Please share.
I had a young man, dad, midway through the school year, sent me a bunch of videos. And this kid, he was making videos, like Khan Academy videos, about, I don't know what, right? I'm like, this kid needs to be in video club. Forget about that stuff. He needs to be in video club. And dad's like, okay, I don't know what a video club. Like, oh, here you go. And I said, this is when we meet. He's got to join. They lived in an apartment. They went out and bought like green tablecloth and tacked it to their living room wall. So he had green screen and you've seen, it's not in the list of things, but you've seen the video where the kid's interviewing President Biden.
Yes.
That's the kid. That's the kid. Like, that is amazing creativity. I think that helped a lot. But still, doing that in your living room with a green tablecloth.
Yeah, amazing. And I saw a number of videos that he had made.
Yeah.
Just from his apartment, using the green screen cloth to produce it. So did you have like an example, like from that time period, that maybe I can quickly get to, that you had? Because I have a whole bunch of them now that I've pulled up. So did you have an example that you felt like would be a good
well, do you have
I actually do have. Hold on, I have this one.
Do you have anything from Gemma?
I've got this one that you were talking about here.
Let's see.
Welcome
Let's see
to
what it's gonna be.
Ananta show.
Yes.
In today's show, I'm going to interview the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. Hi, Mr. President. Welcome to my show. It is an honor. Shall we start the interview?
Absolutely.
So the first question is, are you a billionaire?
Unfortunately, I'm not.
Okay, the second question is, are you a vegan?
No, Joe Biden's not a vegan, although my wife is pushing me. Most of the meals I eat, quite frankly, don't have meat. A lot of chicken, a fair amount of fish. I'm big on ice cream, and that puts me in real trouble. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's good to know. The third question is, do you have a dog?
I have 2 dogs. I have 2 German Shepherds.
Okay, I also like German Shepherds. So the fourth question to you is, did you go to college?
I went to the University of Delaware, and I enjoyed it. It's a great school. That's where my sister went, and my brothers as well.
Okay, the last question is, do you play sports?
I was a pretty good athlete in high school, played a little bit in college, played football and baseball in a couple leagues when I got out of school. Yes, I love sports.
Thank you, Mr. President, for answering my questions. Have a good day.
Thank you. Amazing.
The creativity, and that was amazing. And yeah,
And that was done from home, right?
Yeah.
So an example of how you were facilitating video club during that remote instruction period. So let me ask this though. As you were for those folks that are out there, viewing this, tell us, so we come back into the dumpster fire year, as you called it, and then I know you've shared with me how the club has evolved. So, going from the early days of making videos for the Leader in Me program to remote instruction, to winning awards. And so how has this sort of evolved since, we gotten back to in-person instruction in 2021?
So I think the thing is, I've realized, okay, creativity is good, but skills are good too, right? And so what we're trying to do, I say we, because there's a team. Like, I'm not the only adult. I've talked about Scott. There are a couple of teachers in the building who help me out periodically. So what we try to do is teach skills. And I am not a videographer by trade, right? So I'm learning these skills sometimes along with the kids. Like, I've heard of this thing called the rule of thirds. I don't know, what is that, right? I figure it out and I make the kids learn it, right? So so that's what we're doing. So I'll give them an assignment that forces them into that skill. And so now this year I just created this entire badge program. So there are 10 different required videos, 12 because plug, where I'm also including the WeVideo student certification stuff as well. Yay! I think my kids are the first ones to earn the level 1 certification. The artwork didn't exist yet. I emailed Stu and I said, hey, for the badge.
We were in, and you were, so just to share that, and we'll plug that at the end again, but we do have a student certification program to learn our tools as a student. And Craig was one of the early ones on the ground as an ambassador. He had access to the beta version of our program. And so he rolled it out to his students and got his students certified. And what we're going to do, hopefully, is be able to share that content if we can and get others inspired to do this with students as well. Have you and we can follow up offline and make sure you get the badges that you can pass out to the students. Make sure okay, good. Level 1, that's right.
Yet, right?
Level 2 has not been released yet, but that we will certainly give people information on when that's coming. Hopefully in the next month or two.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're just slowly giving them those skills, right? So I literally, and nobody's done this one yet, but there's going to be a video that you have to show me how to set up the equipment, right? And so you partner up with a buddy and you're setting up the camera, and we've got a stack of iPads to just use the iPad to film it and make a WeVideo video about how to set up the equipment. And just those skills that I think that we had in the early days that Well, one of the things that the club has grown exponentially, right? So I
Yeah.
used to have like 12 kids in the group, and I could work one-on-one with 12 kids, not too hard, right? Now
Right.
I've got like 35, 38 signing every year, and I'm not even sure if they're there every week, right? So, so this is kind of like forcing them into, you really want to be here. This is what you're doing, and it's hard, and it makes it a little bit easier to teach those skills. So, yeah.
So let me ask you this, and I want us to think about. This is a very specific case for video, right? You have a club that's built around creating video, but how have you seen it, or what do you think it can do to serve students in their success academically? But and thinking about video generally, I'm not talking about specifically the WeVideo app or using video editing tools, but the concept of self-expression or learning these kinds of skills about how to create a video or to how to write a script or whatever it is, the production process. What do you think translates to, and how does it translate to some core content areas or success academically, if at all, in your opinion?
You sprung this one on me. I didn't see this one coming. Thanks.
I did.
Get it. There's so many answers. So first of all, just to continue with video, right? And we'll get to other stuff too. But like when a teacher, content level teacher, assigns a video project, I don't have to do as much work, right? So third grade is going to launch into, in just a couple of weeks, a biography video, right? So yeah, I'll have a hand in it, but I've got like 9 kids in my video club that are in third grade, and I'm like, they can do this, right? And they can help their friends do it too, right? So that's going to make my life a lot easier. So things like that, by the time they're in 5th grade, I don't have to worry about 5th graders. Yeah, camera's over there. Do it. Let me know if you have any questions. Right? Seriously. So there's that. I just think though that anytime they're thinking outside the box, right? You and I, growing up, I'm probably considerably older than you, but like our trust me, I mean, you're 30 and teaching. Do some math there, right? But our teachers would assign us something. It would be just write it, right?
Yeah.
So now we're writing it, except now we're typing it. But now we're taking a writing assignment. Now we're putting extra layers on it, and we're thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
We're thinking
globally,
all that sort of thing. So I mean, I do a lot with electronics. We talk about the video. Video. I told you about robots. I'm doing VR, and you know me well enough, and that we don't consume this stuff. We make this stuff, right? That's what we do. And
produce media, exactly.
Yeah, epic media. That's what I do, and that's what I do. That's what I make the kids do. But I think anytime we're doing that, we're plugging into a totally different brainwave than what they're doing in the regular classroom. So I've got an example of this young lady who we'll call her Sally, right? That's not her real name.
Sure, pseudonym here. Yeah.
Sally struggled a lot in school. She struggled a lot in school. In fact, she was determined, I think she was 4th grade, that there were a whole lot of reading. This is where that whole reading ELA thing, I don't understand it, but there were sounds that she just doesn't hear or produce.
Sure.
Reading, she joined video club in 3rd grade. And in 3rd grade, I'm like, what did I do letting her in? Because by 4th grade, she was learning. By 5th grade, she was a leader. By 6th grade, she's going to middle school, and she went to a different middle school than these kids feed into. And her teacher's like, who are you? Right? And so she found a level of success that she wasn't finding in the regular classroom because she had this skill. And she had the confidence that she might not have had because she's a struggling reader. So she's one of my success stories.
And her ability to her confidence just to be at school or enjoy going to school and having something where she felt successful, and then applying that hopefully to the main core content areas and learning how your students might be able to show themselves in the best way or express what they actually know. Right. Video can be a powerful alternative to making sure we are actually assessing students in ways that I think we can really tell what they know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think a lot of teachers these days are assigning, make a video project. But they don't necessarily know what, what they're doing, or they don't give a lot of guidance. So it's neat to know that these kids that have been in this video club program are able to turn around and make those quality videos, middle school and high school. So my own daughter, she's got a WeVideo account. She's in high school now, right? She cranks out videos for school, but sometimes just for fun. And it's good stuff. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And so as we wrap up here, because we've been talking, if you didn't know, we've been talking for like 40 minutes already, which is always the case with us. We can just get on a roll and keep it going, which is what I love about talking to you. So it's a question I ask a lot of folks about video specifically. Just give me the Craig Dunlap version of how, like, why and where to start. If I don't know like what I would do with this, if I don't know how to start a video club, if I don't have time or resources or the room, but I do want to use video with students, or I want to infuse more creativity into the classroom, like what's the best way to get over that hump and just get started?
Well, first of all, they should tweet me. Like my thing is there. Or if you just like do cncdky@gmail, that's me too. Send me an email. I mean, like I share everything. Like there's nothing that I won't share. I'm happy to share that. So so definitely. But I think just get started. Like WeVideo, I didn't start with the paid subscription. I started with the free subscription, and I just started playing around. And it's not that hard to. You don't need the green screen. You don't need fancy cameras. Every laptop has a camera. Every smartphone has a camera. Just get started, and just make something basic. I know that there are a lot of basic video program templates and things, ideas out there. Just get started, and then as you start to learn and get more comfortable, you start to push and push and push and push. But I think honestly, and don't be afraid to look like a fool in front of the kids. I mean, I gave that years ago. And just learn with them. So one of my favorite examples is a robot that I recently got like a year or two ago, and I brought in a bunch of fourth graders and said, "Here's a robot. I don't know anything about it. Figure it out. Teach me."
Awesome. I love that.
And they did. And now that robot company thinks I'm the best teacher in the world. I'm not, but they taught me. And I think that's good too. These kids have skills. Work off of that. So
they already have that sort of mindset toward technology that didn't exist like for me when I was growing up. I mean, a little bit. My dad happened to be invested in technology, the use of it in our home, so I was around it, but it wasn't distributed like it is today. It wasn't widely and readily available like it is today. And kids have that sort of natural inclination towards technological things. And so allowing yourself to kind of give up that control a little bit of, I have to be the holder of the knowledge and the power, and letting it be the kids that show you how to do something, or just some self-exploration at the beginning, right? Here's a tool, get into it, and work it. I know that one of my folks that I've had on the show many times, John Carippo, does many video projects where it's like, make the worst looking video possible. Just get into the app and just break it basically, and then let's learn from how we did that and what else we can do with it.
Right. And his thing was, and I watched you had sent me something recently.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, there are a lot of goofy things in there. Let's find the goofiest one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought of it from that perspective. But so I have a slide that I use in almost every presentation that I do. And I can't remember the exact words, but I really need to just put it on the wall in this classroom. But it says, technologies should be created, not consumed, or something like that.
No, that's right. That's what it is. Yeah.
And that is just the way I approach technology education, is that we consume so much, and whether it's scrolling through Instagram or playing dumb games on our phone or binge watching, let's give these kids a chance to create, and it doesn't matter if it's video. I mean, it should be video, but whatever, whether it's coding or robotics or whatever, they give them that chance if you can.
Absolutely. And I take that and narrow it a little bit, and it's make media. Don't just consume media, make media, produce it for yourself. There's so many applications when you start allowing that to happen. and that we don't have time to discuss here, but it leads down the road to really deep and meaningful conversations about technology's role in society and its impact on us and how we interact with it. So, Craig, we're gonna just wrap it up here. Thank you so much again for coming on today and having this great conversation with us. Craig can be reached there at his Twitter handle. And I know you have a YouTube channel. Do you want to just go ahead and I can put that, if you want to put that in the chat here, if you remember the extension for it.
I don't know. Our school is Yealey Elementary School, so we're the only Yealey Elementary School in the world. So, are you looking it up? Because I can real quick if you need.
No, I'll just put the name of the school in there.
All right. Well, I'll get the YouTube channel in just a hot second here. So.
Yep, and Scott's been on with us today, and he'll see you at Kisty. If you're out there watching us and you're in Kentucky, come see WeVideo and Craig at Kisty in a couple weeks.
I mean, seriously, if there's anyone else there from Kentucky that's watching this, first of all, thank you, and I'll see you in a few weeks at Kisty because that's a fun conference, as you know, Ryan.
I got to come last year with you. It was fantastic.
You this year, but that's okay.
I couldn't make it work this year, but we got Scott coming out, and he's gonna be. You and him will have a great time in the WeVideo booth. And again, thank you so much for coming on. Next week, we're going to have a couple of different webinars. We're going to run on Monday. We've got our creative challenge introduction to our Women's History Month challenge. So please come check us out. We're going to stream that live on YouTube. You can register using the stream in StreamYard. It's going to Stu, who creates all of those, our in-house lesson designer. He's going to be showing us all about our Women's History Month challenge. And then on Tuesday, another WeVideo ambassador, Keith Baldwin's going to come on to share about the blog that he wrote for us as well. And that's Tuesday, March 5th. So please head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com /@ as I'm doing this on the fly at WeVideo, and subscribe to that channel. You'll get updates. We run this show every Tuesday with some special episodes like our creative challenges every month. And we hope to see you back here for another engaging conversation about all things education technology. Craig.
All right, wait, smile.
Thank you so much.
Did you smile? All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, that was fun.
I got a bad background today. This was fun. We'll do it again soon. Thank you so much, my friend. And
you can always have me on. I love it. It's fun
for all of you out there, thanks for tuning in today. And until next time, happy creating. See y'all next time.